Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. I'm here with Stacey Larsen, who I've had the good pleasure of getting to know as a fellow author. Stacey, I think about how this iteration of our relationship started, how we were just at this dawns on me sometimes, like we were at a networking event and I was filling airtime. Like there was this lull in the networking event and I was like, hey, is anyone working on some books? And you were like, I'm working on a book. And like, next thing you know, we're like doing all these fun projects together. So, Stacey, you have been part of the Kindle Flash Sale now. This is about to be your third time. First, tell us about the book that you have in there, and then we'll talk about the Flash Sale.
I love it, Robbie. Thanks. My book is Reframing the Leadership Dance. I'm a leadership coach, and I really wanted to get out there the way that I think about leadership and introduce people who don't know me to that. So, this is my first book launch last year for that book. Yeah.
We got to work together on that as well. And you have a lot of reviews in this book. We're going to circle back to reviews in a moment, but I'm like going to go look, but I'm so proud of the effort you put into the launch itself. So tell me a little bit about what this Kindle Flash Sale experience has been like for you as the author.
I love the Kindle Flash sales because as a coach, I'm constantly working with my clients. I love to be with my clients doing the work that I'm doing and working on my business. I kind of put it off a lot. So it goes on the to-do list and I plan to market my book, but it keeps kind of sliding. And I love these Kindle Flash sales because it's a really easy way and a fun way for me to be engaged in promoting my book and not feeling salesy and not feeling like I'm just putting it on the to-do list and not doing it.
Yeah, I get that. And also, even though we joke all the time that after your book is published, like you market every day that ends in Y, it's easy to have that slip. Like maybe the first few months, maybe even the first 3 to 6 months. My friend Chris Fenning talked about how he has a 1,000-day marketing plan. That's like 3 years of marketing. That's brilliant. But most people don't have that kind of focus. And so now, this being your third time, you have a little better sense of how to make the most of this as the author of a book that is about your business. And you mentioned in the beginning that you're a leadership coach, and like that is, I maybe in my circles, like a very ubiquitous thing. Look, I know a lot of leadership coaches, right? So your book, the way you approach it, is the thing that defines and differentiates your work. So I think you leading with the book is really important. And I know that people, the way you wrote the book is like how you speak about your work. And so people have you in their ear just from reading the book. I think it's wonderful the way you wrote this book, but people have to actually pick up the book and read it. So how are you leveraging being a part of this cross promotion? So, and just so for those who are like listening in here, but every author lowers their Kindle book price to 99 cents. So all the authors have wrote a book to grow their business as a speaker, coach, consultant, looks like Stacey did. And then we cross promote. So the campaign itself is only 4 days, but as Stacey knows, I ask authors to lower the Kindle book price 2 weeks early. And I'd love to know how you're making the most of that extra 2 weeks where your book's going to be 99 cents.
Yeah, I've learned through your promotions and through your systems that I can pick out people in my network who maybe have the book in particular and have not yet written a review.
Yeah.
And I know they love the work that we're doing. I know they're doing amazing things. I know they've made comments to me that they like certain parts of the book or found certain things difficult even. And then we shifted how they thought about it. So I'm making my plans again to reach out to a handful of people and say, hey, here's what I've heard you tell me about the book. How about writing a review?
And of course, giving people deadlines, giving people time frames to do something, as opposed to it just putting on a to-do list that never gets to the to-done list. So this is the time. Like we're now 2 weeks before the price drops as we're recording this. So this is a good time for you to go reach out to them and get them to commit to, yes, during the first 2 weeks of July, when your book is discounted, I will take that action that you just requested. I will publish a review on Amazon in time for the campaign that starts on July 14th. Like I will get my review up by the day before. And so it's not a full relaunch. I mean, you have 71 reviews, by the way. I just like finally my page loaded. And every single one, first of all, is 5 stars, which is I don't ask for 5 stars, you know what I mean? Like I'm just like, it should be an
Mhm.
honest review, but like that's fantastic. You wrote a great book. First and foremost, that's important to know. But also every person who did a rating, the 5-star rating, also wrote something. That
Right?
100% at 71 reviews is really remarkable. So, but like you said, there's still like a lot of people who've read your book and not taken this step. And having a few more reviews throughout the year helps keep your book higher on the search results page for Amazon. And
Mhm.
again, you're in a competitive category. Better to have every ounce of the algorithm working towards that discoverability that you can. So I'm curious, like, how have you thought about who are those people? Like, do you have a long list, short list? Like, are you gonna ask them to opt in ahead of time? Or are you waiting until the price drops? Like, what's the strategy? Or do you have questions?
This is a great question because that's what I'm in the middle of right now. I
Mhm.
think I tend to, like I said, put it off. And the timeline of the flash sale helps me make sure that I'm getting out in advance of things too, because all the reminders that you send for those of us who are participating, reminding us what to do, that's constantly prompting me to go, oh, yes, I need to leverage this. I need to do something about this. So right now I have my little short list of 6 people that I've identified, and I'm in the process of figuring out, okay, how am I going to connect with them? I was thinking about one of them this morning. Sending this person an email is not going to cut it because this person gets thousands and thousands of emails every couple of weeks. And so for me to prompt action to actually create a review within a couple of weeks, from sending them an email, I'm not sure that's going to cut it. So I've got to come up with something a little more simple
Do they have an
for this
assistant?
person. Yes, actually.
Okay, so this is where you could actually, um, first of all, CC the assistant and bold the assistant's name somewhere in the message to make it clear that you are addressing them. But
Okay.
make the ask the top like, hey, what person's name, like the actual person trying to get a review from. I've got a campaign coming up in a month around my book, and I would love to see a review from you on Amazon, but I want to make this as easy as possible. And then next line down, assistant name bolded, outline the times. Like, so my book price is going to drop on June 30th, and you can grab the Kindle version then, or just get the book now. You don't have to wait. And I just need 2 or 3 sentences. Here are 5 prompts that you can respond to 2 of them, or here's 3 prompts and you can respond to any 2 of them to write 2 or 3 sentences. This is not a full book report. And then you thank them both at the end. So basically, somebody else has to get it on their calendar and like remind them to go do it. Now, here's the thing. They don't have to wait till the book's 99 cents.
Right?
I mean, you're reaching out to like, you know, I'm going to call them mucky mucks. You're reaching out to people who are C-suite and
Yeah.
important people who have jobs and all that good stuff. So I think you can tell them that the price drop, it might be significant. They might want to buy a bunch of copies to give out. I mean, that might be kind of part of your follow-up strategy is, oh, hey, by the
Mhm.
way, if you want, I can actually show you how to order 12 Kindle links to send out to your team. If you know what I mean,
Mhm.
like that could be part of
Mhm.
your follow-up strategy if they haven't already bought paperbacks for everybody. But
This
um, but
is
yes.
this is what I love about working with you, Robbie, because I have been thinking about this
Mhm.
for 4 days and spinning on it, and you come along and say, "Well, why don't you just do this?" And it's so specific. I can go the minute we're off this call, I can go write that email, send it, and feel so good about myself. You empower me through the very simple, practical ideas that you have and the structure that you use. I love it.
And I appreciate you being open to doing live coaching, which shows your confidence, by the way, because this is something I love, like pulling back the curtain and just being like, let's just talk about it, let's just brainstorm. Also, this is why coaches need coaches. Like I can't do this for myself, right? Like we all have these sort of blind spots or moments of inertia around like decision fatigue or decision paralysis or whatever it is. Like, how do I do this? And someone comes along and it's like, oh, just cut through, like just do this thing. By the way, then you could also follow up with just the assistant one time to check to see whether it's even on.
Mm,
Did it get on the calendar? Is it on the to-do list? Is there any other information or support they need? Would it be like for certain people? I don't do draft reviews as a standard. I will just say, unless it's
mhm.
an endorsement, that's going in the book. But if you're working with someone who's like the president of a company, right? Like somebody who just, this is really a big deal. You could offer maybe not a draft review, but you could point out what parts of a book would be most relevant. You could even underline a few, you could like give them a few sentences that are in the book quotes that they might react to, right? So you could kind of break this down even more simpler than just saying like, here's the book and here's a couple of prompts. But ask the assistant what they need.
I'm wondering too if I couldn't just say, in the past, here are the things that have struck me when you've told me them about my book that might refresh your memory.
100%. Oh, yeah. Now, by the way, the same strategy works for getting LinkedIn recommendations. So people who are
Oh,
listening that don't have a book, if you get in the
uh-huh.
habit of asking for LinkedIn recommendations before you ever have a book, you will very much be primed mentally for how to get reviews for your book, because it's a very similar approach. Someone
Mhm.
says something nice about the work that
Right.
you do, or about a piece of content you've written, or something, and rather than it just being an exchange that's private via an email or a private message on a social platform, it's, hey, you know would you be open to sharing that as a LinkedIn
Mhm.
recommendation, Amazon review? I'll make it really easy. And then they say yes. So they have to affirm before you give them instructions. Now, if it's a LinkedIn review, then or LinkedIn recommendation, then you would take their bit of text and send them a LinkedIn recommendation request. And then you would put their text below and say, you could use this as a starting off point. Or this is perfect as is unless you want to make any edits, right? Like you could just be like, here it
Yep.
is.
Yep.
And they wrote something to maybe like hastily. So, if you want to like, fix the typo, not a bad idea
Sure.
because not everyone pays attention to that deep level of detail. But otherwise, it's their genuine response. Like now you're just like, here's how you do it. The same thing with the LinkedIn recommendation. And when you go to Amazon, you could just say, okay, let me walk you through, like, here are the steps for taking it and putting it on. If you want people to do things, make it easy. Like,
Exactly, right? I think the other thing that you make easy for those of us in the Kindle Flash Sale is you give me the images that go up in the posts. You give me the outline of the cadence of when to send them. You tell me what hashtags to use. You give me the outline of a post so I can either use that
mhm.
or create my own. And I just have to plug and play. And I'm telling you, it makes it easier for me to actually do it.
Mhm. We expect to have 50 or more books again. We've had up to 75 or more in the past too, so we can definitely have room for more. We've got like 25 or so signed up right now, and we're a couple weeks away. The deadline to sign up is June 25th, and you can go to bizkindlepromo.com to get all the details, or just comment below and I'll get it to you. I want to step it up a little bit this time, Stacey, and we're having our kickoff call tomorrow, actually. So any
Ooh.
authors that are signed up as of Tuesday, the 17th, people are invited to go to this kickoff call. And I'm going to be encouraging these early people to actually do lives together. So there are, certain percentage of people in the circle who already are comfortable with this technology of streaming. And why not have those people invite another author on? And for folks who want to try it, but they haven't had a reason to, like they're a little nervous about live streaming, like, well, why not like
Mhm.
have them go through this with someone who's wanting to talk about books anyway? And it doesn't have to be long. Like we're on 15 minutes and this is the whole thing,
Right.
right? And that's it. And it's
Oh,
just a nice way. I want to keep encouraging people to stretch outside their comfort zone when it comes to how they're repurposing content, how they're connecting with their audience. And
mhm.
also authors supporting each other is a big piece of the underlying reason I enjoy doing these Kindle campaigns 3 times a year. So, Stacey, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
I've loved meeting other authors in the community. I've loved reading their books. I've
Yeah.
learned a lot from them. And like you say, when they have certain skills with marketing, but common issues that we're sharing, it's super fun to know you're not alone
Mhm.
and to have fun with marketing rather than feeling like I'm selling my book. So
Yeah.
I
A
love these
fantastic
Kindle
book.
Flash sales. I can't wait.
Awesome. Thanks for being part of it again, and thanks for
You
joining me
bet.
on this. Cheers.